Chair recognizes,
Me.
Mi- which
Oh,
one?
no. Actually, it's
Ms. Randall.
Ainley. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all of the folks who have come to testify and the people who have been sitting and watching this committee hearing. I'm new to Congress. I served for 6 years in the Washington State Legislature before coming here, and our committees were very different, I gotta say. Not used to quite as much political theater, I think, as I've had a chance to see here in this room today and yesterday. But I appreciate all of you, public servants and experts, for coming to share the answers to questions and to sit through many speeches about all range of topics, not just remote or in-person work. I represent district that has over 27,000 federal workers in Washington's Olympic Peninsula, a lot of them Department of Defense civilian employees. I've got Olympic National Park employees, firefighters, a whole range whose work experiences look all sorts of different ways. Some who have split unpredictable shifts week to week, rangers in the Olympic National Park, firefighters who have different duty stations, food inspectors, people who live in really rural, remote communities, but whose telework plans allow them to keep the essential offices of our government open and serve my community and my neighbors. I also served in the legislature during COVID, where we had to adapt to new remote work environments that people didn't think were possible until we were able to do them. And like you have testified, Mr. O'Malley, lots of folks were able to get service who hadn't previously been able to be served. I was really inspired by my colleague, Ms. Simon's comments about, disabled community members. I'm the older sister to a sibling who was born with really, really complex disabilities. And it was systems like Medicaid and Social Security that allowed her to get the care that she needed and allowed her to live a full life and allowed my parents to be able to ensure that they didn't have to make tough decisions about which bills to pay in order for Olivia to get care. My stepdad had a really dramatic heart attack that has put him on Social Security and unable to work in his life, and I am so grateful to the government employees that have helped ensure that he has been able to live a full life too. As we think about accountability in government efficiency, what the right policies are, I'm thinking, like I've heard so many folks on this panel say, about how it impacts our neighbors, how it impacts the folks who rely on Social Security, how it impacts the folks who are counting on wildfire firefighters, and how it impacts our defense readiness posture as someone who represents Naval Base Kitsap and the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard Intermediate Maintenance Facility, where we too were able to find opportunities for telework and remote work. Ms. Cross, I wonder if you could speak more broadly than just to the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, which is my interest, but how important these workplace flexibility policies are to attracting, recruiting, and then retaining talent who have many opportunities to go elsewhere to the private sector, but who are choosing to stay and work for the American people.
Thank you for the question. Research shows on LinkedIn in their Global Talent Trends report that work-life balance often trumps bank balance in terms of what job seekers are looking for when they are searching for jobs. In fact, studies show that job seekers are willing to forego sometimes up to 20% in pay in order to find more jobs that offer more flexibility. A lot of those reasons are because of burnout crisis, issues with mental health and well-being. Sometimes when you're dealing with being a caregiver and a working parent, which often in the sandwich generation we're seeing a lot of. By the way, federal workers, OPM estimated about 65% of them are juggling parental care and caregiving responsibilities at the same time. not to mention the challenges when you live in rural communities. So around the country, rural areas like my home state of Maine have been dissipated by rural brain drain, where highly educated, highly skilled talent had to leave and go find the jobs. So having the ability to have a hyper suite of different kinds of flexibilities, not just geographic location flexibility, but ones that include flexible work, remote work, telework, and different kinds of work opportunities allow us to really get the best talent from wherever they are. That includes older workers, people with disabilities, caregivers, working mothers, spouses, foreign spouses, and really great, by the way, tech talent who can solve this nation's innovation problems. We need them to come to government. And so if we can't allow those jobs and we can't offer it as a recruitment strategy, I'm not sure what's going to happen with our competitiveness. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair now recognizes